You either love them or hate them. I'm probably somewhere in between. However, I do love the fact that this is even lighter than my last kit. Today we're going to look at my Day Hikers Survival Fanny Pack. Now, I have not taken this little setup out on the trail. It's something I was wanting to do and try out, and I'm probably going to take it out this weekend. I had been looking at different pouches that integrated more of a water bladder, that also had enough room to store some things in. I happened to have this laying around, had never actually used it, and thought I would give it a try. Actually, I'm pretty impressed with how much it was able to hold inside here, and so we'll dive in and give it a look. Starting out, I'm on this CamelBak Repack, just a straight fanny pack. You've got a couple little compartments on here. Each side has got a pouch. On the left side over here, there's a zipper. This is all just elastic webbing over here on the right side. There's a little clip over on the right side, which you can move around. I put it on the right side. There's just a little bite tube holder. The thread's back through in here, and the main bladder sits in the very back compartment. But we'll jump in here and check it out and see what all's inside our pack. So right out the gate, tethered to the very top up here, because I want it to be pretty accessible, I have my little Anyoo Poncho Tarp, which if you watch any of my videos, you know I use these things pretty often. There is at the top of this pack, there's a drag handle up here, and I just use 2 Velcro straps to tether this thing down. I like this tarp because it covers enough that it keeps most of me out of the rain, a little bit of a hood that comes with it, and keeps me pretty dry. It'll eventually wet through, but overall it's a good poncho. It snaps down the side so that you can close the sides in, but at the same time, if you unsnap it, it's a pretty functional little shelter. It's not anything massive. It's not going to be like I have a mansion in the woods, but it'll give me enough room that I can sort of get things out of the way. I can get out of the rain if I need to and stay dry. Okay, so now that I've removed the Velcro holding the poncho on the top, you can see the little drag handle here and kind of get a good idea of just how big this little pack is. So a couple specifics on this pack itself. These sell right now on Amazon, depending on the color you pick up, anywhere from $50 to $60. I think the most expensive one's about $61. It is a 50-liter reservoir in here, so it's not a huge amount of water, but for a day hike, I found it to be pretty functional. The bag overall is pretty light, right at a pound. Let's check out the pouches first. We're going to start with the one over here on the right, since this is just elastic reach in. I literally just have a bandana in here. Something I can kind of reach into pretty quickly, grab something, wipe sweat out of my face. It's just kind of handy, accessible. Most of the other stuff I keep much more secured, but I just drop that over in here and it stays right where I need it to. Pivoting around to the other side where we've got the zipper pocket. So note that on both sides above the pouches, you do have webbing straps up here if you want to secure items to it. I personally don't like a bunch of stuff out there hanging and flopping around, so I don't use those. But nice big pulls, nice big wide easy zippers. Inside here, keep my compass, whistle on the end of it, pace count beads. Not a lot extra. If I have like little trail snacks and stuff like that, I usually put that in the other side with the bandana, but I always want to have the land navigation piece over here. And this is also where I'm tucking my map. Okay, so really quickly, we got this one big major pouch over here that actually holds, got the one big pouch in the very back that holds the bladder. And again, you can see it's not a huge bladder, but it's decent size. It's 50 ounces. Inside here, since I'm sticking with the water theme, I have the bag for my Sawyer filter in here. Have a pre-staged ridge line. That's where I get my prusik knots on here. So if I do have to make shelter, got everything ready to go. And then buried down in the bottom, I have a rechargeable headlamp as well. And that's really all that stays inside here. I've got a little bit of room for, if I want to put in like an emergency blanket or something like that, but it's still 95 degrees here in Dallas, so I'm not worried about the emergency blanket right this minute. But if I use this during the winter, yeah, I'll probably toss that in there. Hey guys, before I forget to ask, if you're enjoying this video and like this type of content, if you haven't subscribed, go through, give me a thumbs up, throw a subscribe in there if you haven't done it already. I definitely appreciate it. Then for the main pouch on the outside here, you've got Velcro that'll release, and then you've got 2 pulls down the side that'll open this all the way out. It sort of clamshells out when you open the 2. And this is the bulk of your storage. So I've got one big webbing mesh pouch over here, and then I've got 2 decent sized pouches up here. So in the first one, we'll work our way from left to right. I have my Sawyer Mini up here, a little duct tape wrapped around it that I can, I've got the straw up here too, so I can put this in if I need to and use it, screw it right onto a water bottle, or just use the included bag that's in the other pouch. Then on top of that, you guys have seen these before in my videos, it's the compressed towelettes for the TP. If you get these things wet, they're gonna swell up, and you've got, I think this one holds 11. You got enough to clean up if nature calls while you're out and about in the woods. So continuing to the right, shocker, I've got a big ink pen up there just because in case you have to write something. I do have some business cards over here too that I can pull up and use to make any notes on, and then also I've got something I can, if I have to hand one of those out while I'm out on the trail. I have a really small fire kit in up here, got a little hodgepodge of stuff. There's some wax covered cotton facial swabs, a little bit of jute, a little bit of fat wood. There's a lighter, there's a Fresnel lens down in there, and a ferro rod, but that's pretty much the extent of what's in here. So just a little basic fire kit. And that really wraps up this pouch, so pretty much just leaves us the mesh patch on the side. So inside here, on the gate, I've got a little fuel rod. This thing is 2600 milliamps. Just a little something to top off my headlamp or my cell phone if I'm out and about and need it. 2 charger cables included, one for my cell phone, one for my headlamp. 2 chem lights just in case. This is the entirety of my bladed tool in here, little Leatherman Micra. It's got a little knife on the side of it, a couple little tools, some pretty fine tweezers, the scissors up front. Nothing overly elaborate, but again, I'm just day hiking. Because it's still summertime, one little packet of picardin for the bug repellent. Couple dude wipes to follow up on the TP just in case. I have a very small boo-boo kit. There's a couple band-aids. I see some eye wash in there. A couple cotton, a little bit of gauze, some band-aids, some stereo alcohol strips. Nothing over elaborate. I'm always taking tracking poles, which has got my Luca tape on it. I'm always carrying a tourniquet in my pocket, so I'm really not carrying a ton of stuff in this thing. And that's really the entirety of what's in this pouch. It comes in at about 3.3 pounds when I put it on the scales earlier today. I'm going to take it out this weekend and give it a whirl and just see how I like it or not. I'm not sure I have enough hips and enough butt to hold that thing up, or possibly too much jelly roll that's going to push it down. It'll be interesting to see how well it stacks up though, and whether I like this over the sling bag or the leg drop bag. Still kind of really digging on the leg drop bag personally. That's been my favorite so far. Okay guys, hopefully you've enjoyed that. I'm always endeavoring to try to take as much gear as I possibly need on the trail, but then also not carry too much. Looking for different ways to go through and carry it. So this was an interesting little experiment. I've really not taken it out on the trail. I think I've got all the bases covered. I'm probably going to take it out this weekend just to give it a whirl. But hopefully you guys picked up a couple of nuggets that, you know, if you're into the butt pack / fanny pack thing, give it a whirl, give it a try. Make sure you've got all your goodies in there. And if you're out on the trail right now watching this, just remember, as always, left foot, right foot. Repeat. We'll see you out there soon.